Why is segmentation important in email marketing? Let me just tell you, when you segment your list, you become more efficient, you get more engagement, you send more targeted messages, thereby increasing revenue and sales. If you've been sending everyone on your list the same email, you're probably missing out on some key engagements and some key sales that you could be making by having a more targeted approach. Stay tuned, because today we're going to talk about how breaking your list into segments can make all the difference in your business. First, let's talk about what is email segmentation and how is it different from personalization. So first, let's talk about what is email segmentation. Right? Segmentation means you're going to create tags on your email list so that you know who needs what information. For example, if you have somebody on your list who's already bought product A from you, you probably don't want to send them the sales emails for product A when you're sending them to the rest of your list who hasn't bought yet. So we use email segmentation to make sure the right people are getting the right emails and we're not overburdening them with ones that they don't need. I want to throw a little caveat in here. If you've watched some of my other videos, you will know that I believe that the primary purpose for your nurture emails is to entertain your audience. So I'm not talking about those emails in this segment. The emails that entertain and then switch to a call to action can be sent to all of your list anytime, even if the call to action is to buy the thing they already have, because they want to learn more about you and you're entertaining them in the process. The emails I'm talking about right now are the ones that are the specific sales structure for a launch, the specific sales structure for a workshop coming up. If they've already bought the workshop, you don't want to keep sending them emails to buy it again. You do, however, want to switch them into the segment of the purchased people so that they're getting the reminders. They're getting anything that they might need to know ahead of time. They're getting all the excitement for the upcoming workshop that they already bought. So that's just one example. There are so many different ways to segment your email list. The main benefit of segmenting your list in this way is you reduce the unsubscribes from your list because they're not getting annoyed that you're still sending them emails that they don't need anymore. Oftentimes, when people continue to get the emails, like selling something that they've already bought or selling something that they've already said no to, is a sure way to have them unsubscribe from your list. So what are some other possibilities for segmenting your list? If you run a membership, right, you could have your list segmented into members and non-members, or maybe different levels of membership. You can have your list segmented into leads, customers, past clients and customers, right? Like, so you can tag them with where they are in your customer journey. You can tag them based on their behaviors and the things they've already done, like purchased a workshop. You can also segment based on interests. So maybe they took a quiz and you know exactly now what bucket they need to go into. Or maybe you had them take a poll and they just indicated on there what they were interested in. Maybe you know based on what they bought first, what they would be interested in next. All of those are really good things to segment your list with so that you are sending emails that are applicable to them and where they are in your customer journey at that moment. You can also segment your list based on the actions that they've taken on the emails that you've already sent them. Have they opened them? Have they clicked on some links? What links did they click on? If they haven't opened them in a while, you segment them into an unengaged segment to try and re-engage them. Any way that you want to separate out your customer journey is a great place to segment your list. Let's say you're a local service provider and you're running a special in one area of town because you only have one client over there and you need more to make it worth it. Right? You can segment your list based on where they live so that you're sending those sales emails to those people that you're wanting to increase your customer base in. Right? So you can get really specific and targeted about your goals. Segmentation can also boost your marketing efforts. When emails are more relevant to the subscriber, they open them, they click them, and they get more engagement, which is really good for your email's reputation. The more open rate, the higher open rate, higher click-through rate, your provider knows that your emails make a difference. Targeted emails can also lead to increased sales. They can lead to more sales conversations, more sales calls set up, right? Because they are targeted to their interests and where they are right now. So getting them on the phone, getting them on a Zoom call with you is easier. In my video about automation, we talked about how a lot of people feel like the automation takes out the human element. In the video where we talked about automation for your email list, we talked about how sometimes people are worried it's going to take out the human element. Segmentation puts the human element back in, right? Because all of a sudden your emails are more targeted. They're going to exactly who you want them to go to based on the actions they've already taken, the interests that they have, what they've already purchased, right? So it feels more relevant to them. Segmentation makes your emails feel more personal by giving them exactly what they want when they want it. You're building an even deeper relationship with your customers by doing it that way. Segmentation allows your emails not to feel generic at all. Your audience wants personalization for you. And I mentioned earlier, there's a slight difference, right, in personalization and segmentation. But personalization isn't possible without segmentation because you're not quite sure who you're sending it to when you're sending it to everybody. So I want to give you a couple practical tips to get started with segmentation. We're going to start really easy. All of this happens in your CRM, your customer relation management system, and happens typically through tags, right? So at the very minimum, I want you to create a naming convention to help you with your tags. At the base of this naming convention, I want you to have where they are in your customer journey. Are they a lead? Are they a referral? Are they a client? Are they a past client? Or have they already said no, right? Those are the 5 basic stages of the customer journey that you can tag to begin segmenting your email list. When you think of a naming convention, the one I use is I put those in brackets at the front of whatever else I want to say on their tag. So, lead and what they opted in with, customer and what they've bought, past client and when they canceled, right? Whatever that is. They said no and what they said no to. Right? Just because they said no to one offer doesn't mean they're going to say no to another. It also doesn't mean they're saying no forever, but I want to know that when they said no. So make sure that you have at least that base in your tagging conventions for segmenting your email list. I have a lot more tips that go along with that. And segmenting your email list can be super, super powerful when done right. I will tell you too, tags can get really messy if they're not thought about ahead of time and you're tagging haphazardly. So there's a resource in the Multi-Passionate Entrepreneur's Playbook that I want you to have, and it'll help you walk through the naming conventions and tagging conventions to get you started out on the right step. So go to playbook.heatherrosson.com and download that today. It's also linked in the bio. And then make sure you hit subscribe because I want to talk a little bit later about the best email platforms for making this segmentation super easy. See you there.